In the previous video, we have used the SQL statement to retrieve the records from the lead object. And in this video, we are going to learn how we can filter out some unwanted records based on the value in the fields. For example, we only want to retrieve those lead records which have a status as closed converted. You can define your conditions or your filters in a SQL statement in a where clause. And a where clause starts with a special keyword called where. So here we have our SQL query which we use to retrieve the records from the lead object. Now we want to filter out the records based on the values in the status field. So after this query or after the lead word, you can also write a special keyword called where, and you can start defining your condition there. For example, this is how you can define a condition on the status field. You will write where status is equals to closed converted, and similar to the select and from keyword, where is also a keyword in a SQL statement. And after the where keyword, you define the condition like the way we are doing it here. We are putting a condition on the status field and we are saying the status field's value should be closed converted. So this query is only going to retrieve those records where status is equals to closed converted. So let's go back to our developer console and try out this query. So after this query, let's define our where clause which starts with the where keyword. And here we are putting a condition on the status field. So let's write it down, and its value should be equals to closed converted. And we need to define this value within a single quote. So remember, very similar to how we use strings in Apex, in the very same way we also use strings in the so remember, like the way we use strings in Apex, we use the single quotes here in SQL statements as well. So let's execute this query, and this time we should get less number of records. So this time we have only got 3 rows or 3 records, and all of these records have the status field as closed converted. Now what if you want to define multiple conditions? So what if you also want to get all the leads which were closed with the closed not converted status? So we want to get both closed converted and closed not converted status. We can do this in the same where clause. Your where clause can accept multiple conditions and you can define them one by one. For example, in this query, we only want to retrieve those records which have the status as closed converted and closed not converted. So you can define your where clause like this. So notice that we have 2 different conditions here. The first condition is status is equals to closed converted, and the second condition is status is equals to closed not converted. And both of these conditions are joined with a OR keyword. And the behavior of this OR keyword is very similar to how it works in our Apex language. So in plain English, it means retrieve all the records from the lead object where status is either equals to closed converted or it is equals to closed not converted. So the OR keyword is simply joining 2 different conditions, and if any of these condition is true, we are going to retrieve those records. And along with this OR keyword, we also have the AND keyword as well. And this AND keyword is kind of forces both the conditions. So if both the conditions are true, then only we are going to retrieve the records. For example, we want to retrieve all the lead records where status is closed converted and lead source is web. So both of these conditions must be true, then only a lead record will be retrieved. So you can play with this OR and AND keyword, and you can have multiple OR conditions and multiple AND conditions in your where clause. So try it out. For now, let's go back to our developer console and we are going to modify our query. So here, along with all the leads which have a status called closed converted, we are also going to retrieve the leads which have a status as closed not converted. So we will use our OR keyword here, and then again we are going to use our status field and then our single quotes to define the value, and let's execute our query. And this time we have got 7 records and all of them either have a status as closed converted or closed not converted. Now let's also see a demo of AND keyword. So let's go back to our lead page, and here I want to put a condition on the lead source as well. And let's get the field name of this lead source field, and it's called lead source. So what I want to do, I want to retrieve all the leads. Actually, let's add one more field here after the status field. Yeah, so what I want to do, I want to retrieve all the leads where status is closed converted or closed not converted and lead source is web. So I will combine my OR keyword and my AND keyword. So what I'll do, I'll use my parenthesis to actually group my OR conditions first. Then I can use a AND keyword, and after this AND keyword I'm going to put a condition on this lead source field, and I will say that its value should be web. So in this query I'm retrieving all the records that we were retrieving before. So there should be 7 records, but I am putting an extra condition where lead source should be web. So either we should get the same number of records or less than those, because the lead source may not be same for all those previous records. So this time we have only got 2 records because only 2 of those 7 records has a lead source as web. So this is how you can use multiple conditions in your where clause, and you can group those using either the OR keyword or the AND keyword, and it depends on the conditions that you have. So that's all in this video. In the next video we will see how we can modify this query and write it better with new keywords from the SQL statements.